Hello world, the Sunglass Kid here with my review of Wet Hot American Summer. All I can say is, wow. And not the good wow either. Allow me to set the stage and explain myself. Wet Hot American Summer takes place during the summer of 1981, and immediately it sets itself up as a nostalgic type of film that recalls a bygone era. For the second 3 minutes. The first 3 minutes sets itself up for what looks like it's going to be a typical teen movie, like in the vein of American Pie, what with the drinking of beer, the taking of drugs, and the copious amounts of making out. Okay, so it's a teen movie with a nostalgic bend to it. With the teen movie, you get the standard cast of characters. You have Coop, the protagonist who tries to get together with Kate, the beautiful love interest who is already in a relationship with the man-child jerk that is Andy. But that's not the only show in town. You have Beth, the camp director who has a thing for Henry, the groundskeeper and king of the nerds. Then you have the solo acts of Vic, the man with sex on the brain constantly. Gene, the Vietnam veteran, who has issues all on his own, having relationships with inanimate objects and refusing to fess up to it. And Gail, who is going through a divorce, and the kids that she's teaching help her through this tough time. It's at this point that the kids here show a greater maturity than most of the staff. I'm looking at you, Andy. You who let a kid drive a speedboat, let a kid drown, and cheat on your girlfriend. Hell, you even threw a temper tantrum when you had to clean up your own mess. It was entertaining for a bit. As a matter of fact, that scene pretty much sums up the whole movie. It makes you smile for a little bit, but after a while the flailing of arms gets old. It seems like the movie picks up on this, because on the second act, it starts cribbing pages from Airplane. You have the ridiculous plot that a piece of Skylab is going to squash the camp, and only Henry and his group of indoor kids can save the camp with a D-20. Don't ask. Vic, who abandons the kids he was supervising for a chance at sex with a woman, like he didn't see that coming, now has to go back and save said kids from a river that only he can navigate. And Coop has to become a man through the standard 80s montage that we all know backwards and forwards by now. This is the movie's biggest flaw. It can't make up its mind what kind of movie it wants to be. Is it a teen film that shows them doing things that we wish we could get away with? Is it an over-the-top comedy that doesn't take itself seriously? Make up your mind! My recommendation, skip the whole thing and watch the actual Airplane. This is a summer that you'll want to forget.